Okay, we got the subframe built, and we've built the air box and the adapters for the pipes to mount to. We'd kind of like to build the pipes before we carry on with this frame. And across the pipes over in the back of the engine there, and end between the front wheel and the frame in the front. With everything decided as what we're going to do here, we attempted to do this ourselves here, and we soon realized the skills required and tools required to do a proper job of building expansion chambers. We set out in finding someone to build these pipes for us, and we found a fellow out in Alberta, NIEL'S Power Pipes. And we ended up taking it out there, and we had some great discussions with Neil. In this next section, Neil has brought up the point that, we're creating a lot of heat by crossing the pipes over in the back there. So we're looking at doing a different routing of the pipes here. Here's what we come up with.
Again, I was thinking again last night what you were talking about, the pipes crossing in here, in between here. And I don't know, like if you can come out here and get enough clearance and do something, maybe come up a little higher and then down to get the clearance coming through, that's an option also, right?
Yeah. I got to make the pieces to see where I have.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, like, I see what you're saying about all the heat in there, eh?
Yeah.
And if there is another way to do it, then like you're the guy to design it for sure.
Yeah, we'll get them in there.
Hey?
We'll get them in there.
Yeah.
Is there going to be anything on here as a fuel tank? I remember you saying you're building a tank, but like cosmetically, is there plastic wrap or something that's going up there?
No. If we're building a fuel tank, it's going to be aluminum. Same with the water.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the water, like what we're planning is right in this area here. We want to put a water tank in here. How far back we're going to come depends on what happens here and how big we are.
The reason I'm asking, I'm just wondering if this space is available here.
Oh yeah, on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of that is available. The like I say, the rad here comes out. Oh geez, I should have brought it, I guess. But we can always change that up too. It doesn't have to be that rad, right? Okay. We just like to put a rad on to get a little bit of cooling. Definitely. We're running 20 seconds, 30 seconds tops, right?
Two-stroke motors, man, anything past 90 degrees Fahrenheit, you're losing power.
How much?
90.
90 degrees.
They want to be warm to the touch, go.
Okay. That was the big thing, is we figured on 7.5 degrees total cut. Now that's each cut, so it ends up being 15 degrees on each joint. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. And this here is kind of neat with this swivel
when I first
saw
started,
here.
I would use a reciprocating saber saw to do that. And it was hard to get those.
Well, I think that's what he was using. Yeah.
It's like,
and
it you can spend your. I even tried, like an ordinary. What do you call it? When you're trying to like a miter box.
Oh yeah.
With a metal blade on the saw.
On the hacksaw.
And I think it had one huge arm, but they still would wobble a little bit.
Yeah. Anything by hand, that's what the problem was, eh? And he had the big...
round them, and then I draw lines on them at 90 degrees apart all the time.
Basically start in the middle?
Yeah, just so I know where square is. And when you get less material in there, there's just...
Yeah.
Then it bends more. So
then it,
there's always things to pay attention to.
Oh, I see.
This stuff, because it gets pretty brutal. That's why these ones are bad. Like ordinary, the front one is
hard to do, which is the back one, eh? Yeah. Oh, you're even losing rubber on that. So then you just run it through the roller to straighten all that out after, eh? Yeah.
And then I put it on a mandrel and beat it back up again.
Oh yeah. I'd like to go through the oils again with.
People trying to run high ratios, 50, 60 to 1 is just silly.
Right, exactly. And we were talking there 32 to 1 or.
As a minimum, kind of.
Yeah,
and if it gets
minimum.
more and more serious, put more oil to it.
More oil.
It gets to be a drooly mess, but it's about rinsing.
More oil, more power. And fuel, the same thing. What? High octane for this engine, less equals less power is what you're saying.
Exactly. Stock compression ratio stuff, and the timing where you don't need octane, don't put octane in it. Only when you can use the octane, like compress it a lot more or turn the timing up, then you can recover that power out of it. But
What I was planning on doing is at the end of that crankshaft, I'm going to maybe add a 1/4 inch to what's on the spindle itself, and I'm cutting it there. So it's going to be short, so I won't have any threads on there. But my plan was to put a shaft like this inside there, and then put like a 3-jaw puller on it to pull it off. Should still work. It's going to be a steel housing, no? So as long as I'm not pushing on the end of the crankshaft, I'm pushing on.
yeah, but what you're trying to do is pull off your taper.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works, because on tapers, in the male and female, and the female one is just got a bit of release on it, just a little bit. 'Cause if your angles are perfect, you'll never get it off. So they machine them so they're just off just a little bit.
Oh, okay. So you want to pull it from the back end?
That's the whole idea. Is when you push on it, you like the threads are on the clutch, and then you're pushing away from it. You are just kind of deforming it, and so it lets go.
Okay.
Because honestly, like those clutches are on there, and like the wicked stuff will take 500 horsepower, and it might take 70 foot-pounds to pop them off.
Okay.
Here's my way of doing it. Like this is what I put on the end of the crank. There's the
Oh yeah. Okay.
and I put it on here. Then I have a chain coupler that connects to my shaft to the thing.
Okay. So that's
And when
actually
I'm
what you
done,
do.
Then
Yeah.
I just rattle this off, boom, boom, pops it off.
And that goes right to the end of the. Oh, I see what you're saying.
On the output shaft to the.
Oh, okay. So how? What bolt? When you bolt this on, what holds it on? Another shaft with a big head on the end?
Realistically, you shouldn't say this out loud, but realistically, you don't need a bolt. Because once it's locked on there,
Yeah.
it ain't coming off.
Really?
And like so, all I ever do is I use the stock bolt that held the clutch on.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same thread. Once it's on there, it ain't gonna move.
Okay.
Like even the wicked stuff, 220, 250 foot-pounds.
But you're
I'll mark them to see if they're turning, and they never turn.
You're saying we're better off to pull from here than to try pull it from back.
Yeah, I don't
from this
think,
end.
I don't think doing this is the right way. I think doing this.
Because we're
is the
squeezing it together.
right way.
Yeah. We're actually making it tighter by pulling there.
Yeah, and like this is way easier than trying to put on a set of 3-jaw.
Okay.
You just whoop, done.
Oh yeah. Impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you don't have the impact.